All right, right now what I want to talk to you about is some do's and don'ts while you're under the tent. Let's start off with some positive things, some do's. When you go out there, what I want you to always remember is that our focus is on the people that God wants us to talk to. All right? And so there's times in the tent where it is jam-packed. I mean, people are all over the place. You look up and you go, wow, God, this is unbelievable. Then you'll kind of look around and there'll be a time when there's hardly anybody being witnessed to in the tent. But whether you're witnessing to someone or whether it's at a lull at that point, constantly keep in mind that we are in a spiritual battle. Satan does not want to lose his possessions. You know, God wants to save these people, and Satan does not want them to be saved. And so when they're coming into this tent, we are literally in a spiritual battle. And we've got people all over the United States praying for us while we're here. But you need to be in prayer. So, right as when you're not talking with someone, be praying for the next person that you're going to be talking to. Be praying for, maybe you're not talking to someone right now, but the person next to you is. Be praying for that person and what they're saying. And just ask God to make it very clear to those who come in the tent what He has done for them through His Son, Jesus Christ. Pray that they would understand that Jesus is God's Son, that He lived a perfect life, that He died on the cross, that He was buried, that He rose again, that He ascended to the Father, that He's coming back someday, and that there is going to be a judgment. Ask God to take the blinders off their eyes so they can see this. So, my first encouragement is always be in an attitude of prayer. The second thing that I would like to say to you is sometimes there's a lull, and so you've got fellow believers in the tent with you, and it's fun to find out where they're from and what's going on with them, and so you'll start talking to them. Well, when you're talking to somebody, make sure you're standing side by side, and as you're talking, you're not focusing on each other. You need to be focusing on the front where the catchers are, so that if someone comes in, you can drop that conversation immediately and get out there and start witnessing. And so, because if I'm sitting and talking sideways to someone, we're talking, a catcher might look at me and think, oh, I'm witnessing to this other person, I'm not available. Well, if that's the case, two of our witnesses are now not available because they've not paid attention and they're engaged with each other, and the catchers out there, they think that we're already busy, and so they're looking for someone else. So always keep your focus out on the catchers and the people coming in. Now, when you come into the booth, there is a counter where we do the registration. Now, it's a pretty long counter, but sometimes that counter is just filled up with people trying to register. If you bring your person up to that counter and they're registering and you notice it's just very crowded and other people are trying to register, then just slip back behind your person, stay right there with them, let them continue to do this, but that'll allow someone else to get in and actually register. And when you're not talking with someone, make sure you're not in the back there leaning up against the counter, because that takes space away from those who want to register. So you're sitting there as a witness and you see someone coming in. You want to be as close to those catchers as you can be. Be up front there with them so that they know you're ready. Then when you get someone, say, hey, let's go over here, and kind of get out a little ways away from the very front, and then you can talk with them kind of on the side, and then the other people who are available can move forward, so the catchers, when they turn around, they can find a person ready to witness. Now, what we try to do also is that if we have like a single woman coming under the tent, or we have a couple of ladies together coming under the tent, the catchers want to try to find a lady to talk to them. And so, ladies, specifically for you, if you notice one of our catchers talking to a woman or a couple of women and they're starting to come in, you especially be aggressive. Get up there, because we really like the ladies to talk to ladies. All right? Now, if there's no ladies available, then men, then you need to talk to them. Ladies, be aggressive. It's very easy to talk to the ladies. You know, a lady talking to a lady, it works very well. And so you just jump in there and take that opportunity to talk with them. Now, there's also some don'ts. All right, and these are very important. Over the years, we have learned this, and it's very important. The first don't I want to talk to you about is don't wear sunglasses under the tent. All right, we want to make eye contact with the people that we're talking to. We don't want to have our sunglasses on so they can't see our eyes. All right, so for the communication process, you need to have your glasses off your face. If you have them up on top of your head, that's fine, but when you're under the tent, never have your glasses down over your eyes. Just don't do it. Now guys, I think you'll understand what I'm talking about here. You don't want, let's say a couple comes in, a guy and a girl, and you're talking to them. First of all, you want to be able to look them in the eye, but you don't want that guy thinking that under those shades you might be checking out his girl. All right? It's just common sense. We keep the glasses off. Now, sometimes it's hard to keep eye contact because they come under with sunglasses. That's all right. You just imagine you can see their eyes, but keep your eyes focused on them. Now, the other thing I want to tell you is that at Sturgis, you know, we get some crazy dressed people out there. You'll be looking out the tent and you'll see someone come by and they've got the goofiest outfit on, or not so much of an outfit on. And that leads to the next issue, is no cameras under the tent. All right. Now we all have our iPhones or our you know, cameras, whatever, and because we want to be doing pictures at Sturgis. But when you're working under the tent, there is no time that you will take a picture under the tent. Now, if you want to take a picture of the tent when there's a break or when you're not on duty there, it's not your time to be there, you can be on the outside of the tent and you can take a picture in. You can go out in the street and take a picture in, but we do not want you to be taking any pictures under the tent, okay? So, no sunglasses and no pictures under the tent. Now, every once in a while, we'll have somebody come into the tent that is not dressed appropriately, and a woman will come in and you'll think it's kind of a strange looking shirt, and what you'll find out is just paint. They're painted. And you know, this catches attention of everybody. And so men, especially, we have to be men of integrity, and we've got to keep our eyes focused on her. She is a child of God. She's a creation of God. All right? And she is not to be oogled over. All right? And so you keep your eyes focused where they need to be, and do not be distracted by what she's wearing or what she's not wearing. Well, sometimes they come in and they are wearing, it's not so good, and so I'll come up, or someone will come up and we'll say it's time to make a wall, and literally we will have people stand in front of them, which blocks them from the street. Because if we don't do that, what will happen is we'll get a whole bunch of people gathering at the front of our tent, and they're not interested in coming under the tent to hear about what Jesus is doing. All they're interested is taking a picture of who's inside the tent, and we don't want that. And so we'll form a wall so that no one from the street can see. We just keep our backs to that person and we look out, and so that no one can see there what's going on. And then when they're done, they leave the tent, and then whoever's following them will just follow them down the road, keep taking pictures, whatever. But we've been able to share the gospel with them without people gathering in the front of the tent taking pictures. So you don't be taking pictures of this under the tent, and we block this from other people taking pictures under the tent. So that's a no. No sunglasses, no pictures under the tent. There's another no that we just do not want you to get involved in. Every once in a while, you'll get involved in someone who wants to come in and they want to debate you. You'll tell your story, and then they want to go off and they want to start debating you. They want to tell you their views and their beliefs and all of this. You know, if they want to take a little time to do that, that's okay. But I've seen people get involved in some of these things and it goes on 15, 20, 30 minutes. They're involved in a debate that really is not going to make any difference. And so what we say to you is, do not get involved in a debate. All right? If you have to do some ministry, you really feel like this person's broken or whatever and there needs to be some ministry done, then we ask you to take them to the very back of the tent. There's an opening there out the back. Take them back to the very back so that you're out of the way and you can talk to them a little bit there. But literally, there's some people here you could spend the entire day ministering to, and that is a good ministry, but the main thing you're here for is to share Jesus Christ with as many people as possible. So don't get involved in debates. Now, if you do get involved in a debate, there is a very easy thing that you can do. You can say to them, okay, hey, let's go over to the counter, let's get you registered, and just kind of start walking to the counter. You put that in front of them. As they start writing this, that usually slows down the debate. But if they are just standing there debating with you, you can say, okay, if I'm behind the counter, you can say, all right, David's going to take care of this registration for you. And so then I will start engaging them, and then you can get back to doing what God's called you to do, and I can stop the debate and get the card taken care of and make sure that they're not stopping you from doing what God has called you to do. So no debates, and we're not there about arguments, but we want to make sure that we're talking to people about Jesus. So no sunglasses, no picture taking, no debates, all right? Always making sure that you are focused on the people coming in, not focusing on another witnessing person there. Always remembering to be praying, be prayed up, and remembering to pray for people who are witnessing right now and for the next people coming in that you're going to be talking to. And pray that God will give you an opportunity to share with other people what Jesus Christ has done for them. And the final thing I want to say is that in the town of Sturgis, they have a lot of rules about how businesses have to act and what they have to do, and we have to stay under our tent. All right, if you're talking with somebody, you cannot take them outside the tent. That will impede traffic. You cannot be on the sidewalk. So stay under the tent and stay focused on what God has called you to do.